Hey everyone, welcome to Nick Drinks. I'm your host, Nick Britsky. We are here at the studio and we are welcoming David Martinez, who is the head bartender at Willis Show Bar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we are continuing our series of the Game of Thrones whiskeys, and this week we are tasting the House of Stark, which is the Dalwhinnie Winter's Frost.
And now, another episode of Game of Drinks. Episode 2. Brought to you by Diageo.
Just as King Robert had asked me to fulfill my destiny in King's Landing, so shall you fulfill yours as a member of the Night's Watch.
Aye.
And as I leave to become hand of the king, to one day bring together all of the houses of Westeros, to lead them all through the coming winter, to forge forth through unimaginable Wait, I'm sorry, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I mean, then probably you shouldn't go to King's Landing.
Eh?
I mean, you don't want to get ahead of yourself.
I'll be fine.
I mean, I'm just trying to give you a heads up.
I don't.
I mean, you know, before Joffrey gives you one.
By the Lord of Light, do your mortal eyes now peer into the future, Nick Snow?
Only what's ahead on a stick?
What is this cryptic nonsense? No son of mine is going to...
Yeah, about that.
Perhaps, when Bran is up on his feet again, you two...
I mean, do you even watch the show?
Enough. Safe travels until we meet again.
I mean, we don't. Now, have you had Dalwhinnie before?
I've had the 15.
Okay, but have you had the Game of Thrones?
I have not.
Okay, so one of the things that we are very lucky to do, and thank you so much to Diageo, which is sponsoring this, is they gave us all of the other bottles to pair up with these to test how they compare and contrast against the other line.
Yeah.
So why don't we, what do you think we should start with?
Probably the 15.
All right, let's start with the 15 then. So as far as this guy goes, we know it's at least 15 years old. Obviously, it's 100% malt. It is made at Dalwhinnie. Dalwhinnie is a very north distillery. So I think that's why it pairs up with the Starks. It's actually at the 56th latitude, and that is the equivalent of the top of Ontario. So their average temperatures are between the high 30s or the high 20s and the low 60s. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get a ton of rain. So it's a pretty, cool climate. What are you expecting from this?
No idea. It's been a little while. There's a ton of honey.
Yeah, ton of honey. And what's interesting is they both say they have some honey in there.
Yeah.
As far as kind of the smells go.
I think it'd be because of not going in and out of the wood a ton. It's really the malted barley that you're really getting.
Interesting.
And there's not a ton of peat either.
It smells very mild. I mean, it smells like Scotch. Mm-hmm. So you get that peatiness or that maltiness. Mild. It smells very mild.
Apple? Like apple skin?
Green apple? Light apple? Like a lighter apple? Not a like a...
Like more like a honey crisp or like a red delicious. Okay. Not a ton. Not baked. That's about it, really.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Cheers.
Cheers. There's that little bit of fire.
Yeah, touch of heat.
And then you somehow get a little bit of that peat, but it's not on the nose at all, which I'm really confused about.
Yeah.
I don't know, it could be because it's been in there. Well, no, because Lagavulin typically is 16 years, and that's still really strong, but 15 years, just not much.
So maybe because of the climate, as you were kind of saying, it's not having time to go in and out of the wood.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little bit of those kind of baking spices, woodsiness, but not a ton of it.
No.
And from a peat standpoint, are they still, do you think they're kind of using the peat to fire this? Or is it more of a flavor that's just kind of picked up from other beans?
It could be from the water source.
Okay,
more than anything else.
Let's pour the Game of Thrones. So as far as this goes, they do not have an official age statement on this. So it's at least 3 years because that's the Scotch minimum.
Yep.
Okay. It does show that it's ex-bourbon casks, which again is pretty common for Scotch as well. So we're not getting a ton of information out of here.
And the color's about exactly the same.
Color's very similar. It doesn't say on the website if it is related to this. But now we can kind of taste and see if it is. Oh, there is a different smell. Okay. Now, in addition to the Dalwhinnie 15, there also is another line that is called like winter honey or something like that. Oh, tell me what you're doing right here.
Just warming it up. So when you take any kind of alcohol, it's going to evaporate, and that's where you're going to get a lot of the aroma. So rubbing it between your hands can help warm it up. Alcohol evaporates, and you just get left with whatever's there. For myself, anyway, it's to like pull out anything. If I'm not getting a ton of the nose, it's just a way to like warm it up. Or if the spirit's a little bit cold, where you're not going to get a ton of aroma. It's a little bit lighter. You still get a little bit of the same honey that they talk about.
Yep.
But I lose all the apple, fruitcake.
Which someone mentioned in the tasting notes, one of the people that we looked at. Almost like a light citrus, maybe almost like a candy orange.
I can see that. A little bit of pear. I'm losing it.
And what are you doing with that?
The other thing is when you smell constantly or breathe too deep, you kill your olfactory. So resetting it by like soap on your hands or coffee beans, a neutral smell can help reset it so that we can actually start to smell again.
These are good tasting notes. This is like A+ right here. All right, well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
A little less heat, a little more heat on the finish, but not as much kind of right up front.
That's nice.
That's really, really good. Different. They are not the same
No,
at
not
all.
I would definitely say it's younger because you're not getting as much
Yep,
oak.
I believe that. Not in an unpleasant way.
No.
Well, that's fun.
It's almost like it would be different parts of the warehouse, this isn't Rick House, it'd be the warehouse of where the barrels are at. This could be more of the higher altitude, like and if they have multiple layers, and this is going to be like in that bottom level where it stays a lot colder, where it's not going to go in and out as much. That one may see a little bit more. So that's where you're going to get a little bit more oak.
And maybe because this is a limited line, they weren't mixing as many barrels together. Maybe they found a couple barrels. But I think, the biggest thing to point out, this is definitely not the 15, the Dalwhinnie 15. I do think it's a little bit younger.
I mean, it seems like a lot of these tend to be the younger version of it.
Overall, if you found this one actually wasn't too hard to find on the shelf when it first came out. Probably not as lucky now.
Yeah,
but if
most
you
of them
did
are
see
gone.
this on the shelf, would you grab it?
Yeah, definitely. It's around, 45? 45?
40, I think is what we said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great for $40. For a scotch, can't beat it.
Goodbye. Collectible with the Game of Thrones, and if you're a fan, even better.
No, for sure.
All right. Well, if you thank you so much.
Yeah.
If people want to learn more about Willis Showbar, where do they go?
WillisShowbar.com has every information you could ever want, as well as social media links.
Okay. What's your favorite drink right now on the winter spring menu? Are you at spring yet?
So actually, we have a fun thing that we recently did with Prince. Harry Williams? He's at the Keep. And he also does. I've known him since we both started bartending in Flint.
Okay.
And he's always been an artist. So we actually had him commissioned to do our prints on the back wall.
Okay.
And I came up with cocktails for each individual one that are on the menu right now. So there's 6 different cocktails that are named after each print.
Very cool. So if you are in Detroit or visiting Detroit, go check that out. They are right downtown at?
We are at 3rd and Willis.
Perfect. So thank you so much for watching this, the Game of Thrones special edition of Nick Drinks. We're going to be releasing these periodically up till the final episode on the 14th of April. So keep checking that as we go through the whole series. If you want more from Nick Drinks, check us out on youtube.com/NickDrinks. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at nickdrinks.com, all spelled out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
David?
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Just as King Robert had asked me to fulfill my destiny in King's Landing, so shall you fulfill yours as a member of the Night's Watch.
Aye.
It's way too easy. Oh, what's my next line? I actually do have a decent line after that.
Yeah. You can hold. Actually, I can read it from there.